Hello everyone, Deb Floros, guest designer for Beadaholique. I'm going to be making an elegant spooky season choker necklace. I'm using some Beadalon memory wire necklace size and some metallic purple iris Ico Toho seed beads that will be perfect for the continuity on this choker. The metallic purple goes so well with black, so I'm going to be combining black and that metallic purple in a few different beads. So I've got a couple of beads in the metallic purple, and then I've got these prong beads, which are Toho. And I'm going to be throwing in some black chain, which we're going to be using for some very flowy, dangly effects for this piece. These seed beads are so incredible, and they're going to be that continuity around the entire choker necklace. And those prongs almost look like, I don't know, a crow's beak or talons on a bird, and they look kind of spooky and perfect for a spooky season necklace. So make sure you've got the right size necklace or the right style necklace memory wire. I'm going to be using round and not flat, which I originally had picked out, but that flat really is not right for these beads. I'm going to cut about round and a half of that memory wire, and that's going to give me the perfect crossover. This is going to be an open front choker necklace. Now use your memory wire cutters, and I'm also using memory wire rounding pliers for this project. They're made by Beadalon. They're perfect for creating consistent loops on either side of your piece. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a bead blocking approach here. So I'm going to be stringing on a series of beads, 2 seed beads and another bead. And I'm doing 6 of each bead at a time. You'll be able to do several groupings of these beads as you go around the necklace. So I string on my first block, which is that melon bead, and it's the metallic purple. It's so cool. And then I'm going to do a series of 6 of those prong beads. And I do want to make sure that they're all facing in the same direction because I want them to kind of face downwards and look like those little claws. Extra spooky for this season. So much fun. I love how those look. They're a little shiny too, so they add some interesting texture to this piece. Then I'm going to pick the biggest bead, and that's the Czech Fire Polish 8mm, and they look super cool. So I'm not concerned about size here. I really want this to be an eclectic blocking approach of beads. So blocks of different beads as I go around. You could do it differently and go by size if you're more comfortable with that. So I've got my blocks. I've got those round black beads that match those prong beads nicely. And then I'm going to start over with my pattern. And you can see this looks so beautiful, that black and that metallic iris, so cool. Now I'm going to introduce a loop of chain. So I'm going to find one of the small links, and after one seed bead, after my last group of beads, I'm going to attach that loop of the chain, and I'm going to leave it hanging on. I'm going to add another seed bead and then start my section of beads. And this one is my prong beads. And I just want this to loop down and around that section or that block of beads. But I need to figure out how long of a loop I want. So that's why I didn't cut the chain immediately. Now you could do some of that ahead of time if you'd like, test it out on the wire and see what it looks like. I did it with the beads on because I feel comfortable holding on to that wire. But I've got kind of a long loop which will drape down on your neck and look so cool and interesting. And this chain is just really beautiful and detailed. So we've got lots of texture and lots of fun stuff on this necklace. So then I'm going to cut off my excess when I'm happy with that loop or that length of the chain. And then I'm going to continue on with my blocks. And I want the blocks to go almost to the end of the chain, or until the end of the piece of memory wire. And then I'm going to add another piece of chain. And I'm going to leave it without cutting it, and I'm going to add a seed bead on the other side of it, and then I'm going to do my finishing loop with about an inch, just over an inch of wire left. And I may need to do a little bit of finessing of that loop with some flat nose pliers. Then I'm going to cut off the length of chain that I like. This is also just going to be a fun dangle going down your neck. So I'm going to add one of those large 8mm fire polish at the end onto a small length chain link on my piece of chain. I'm gonna wire wrap that directly onto my chain with a head pin, and oh my gosh, that looks so cool. And I'm going to add one of those beads on a head pin to my coil at that end. So I just want a little extra something at the end of the necklace. So I've got that long dangle and then a short dangle at the end. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, oh gosh, I love it so much. I think I'm gonna want another dangle at the other end of the necklace. So that's how it's shaping up so far. But yeah, I think I want one more dangle at the other end on the other loop. So I'm just gonna do the same thing, adding that on and making sure that I've got a nice, pretty wrap around that bead. Oh my gosh, I love how this looks. It's gonna be beautiful on. And there it is. I hope you enjoyed this spooky season choker necklace. You can find everything to make this at beadaholique.com. Thank you so much for watching.